Howdy y'all, and welcome. Hope y'all are excited for Thanksgiving coming up and are looking forward to seeing friends and family on Thanksgiving and getting into that good old turkey coming and gobbling until you're wobbling. As you can see, we could be coming in on some travel delays leading up into Thanksgiving. As you can see, we got a wintry mess up here in the upper Midwest and Northern Plains, as a blizzard warning has already been issued here in parts of northeast North Dakota, as well as a high wind warning down here in Nebraska and wind advisories here down here in Indiana and much of the Midwest. Let's go ahead and click on one of these warnings here. We can see that snow and strong winds are going to be happening through tonight. Upwards of 4 to 8 inches on average is going to be occurring here in the upper Midwest and Northern Plains. Foot of snowfall could be occurring within the blizzard warning area. 40 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts are going to be possible as well, so definitely be aware of this if you are traveling. Exercise caution if you are traveling, and just use your common sense. If you're not, then I guess that's good for you. But we can see that winds are going to be on the increase tonight, so no travel is advised in north central South Dakota. Slippery with snow sticking along Highway 212, so definitely be prepared for a slow afternoon commute, as the snow could actually stick around through Thanksgiving, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. So basically, we got a big old wintry mess leading up into Thanksgiving up here in the upper Midwest and Northern Plains, and we also have some severe weather occurring down here in the deep south through right around 8 p.m. tonight. So definitely be aware of tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. So make sure to have multiple ways to receive alerts, have access to a shelter, and check for updates. Basically, have all the alerts set, know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued, and don't be scared, but be prepared. And we can see the holiday week outlook down there in the deep south. Be very warm on Thanksgiving, so that's some good news for y'all down there. So let's go ahead and get into when the greatest chance of seeing a tornado is, since we already know we got severe weather down here in the deep south. We can see right around, I would say, 1 o'clock central time, some storms are going to be already getting fired up before it turns into what we call a QLCS event, which is basically a big old squall line with embedded supercells. By right around, I would say 5 o'clock central time, and then it's going to be turning into a big old wind event as we head into the early morning hours of Wednesday. So as you're waking up to head off to school and work tomorrow morning, could be coming in on some rumbles of thunder, heavy rain, and just some high winds. Now, the greatest chance of seeing a tornado, we're going to take a look at the significant tornado parameters. Basically, this shows us where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at. Don't mean a tornado is going to happen within this whole area. Just means there's a lot of favorability for tornadoes. But basically, I would think from right around 2 to 4 p.m. is when the greatest chance of seeing a tornado could be possible. So definitely, again, be hyper weather aware. Have all the alerts set. Know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued, and you'll be just fine. So now that we know the timing and where the worst of severe is going to be happening at, let's go ahead and zoom out here. Take a look at that winter storm that actually got updated into a blizzard warning while recording this video. Take a look at the composite reflectivity. We can see that the snowstorm is going to be occurring through the late evening hours tonight and into tomorrow, and even possibly into Thanksgiving as well here in Michigan. So that could delay some travel if you live up here in the upper Great Lakes region. Could be heading off into the northeast as well as we head into the early morning hours of Thanksgiving. As we take a look at the evening hours of Thanksgiving, actually, we see where the most snowfall is going to be occurring at, mainly over here in northwest Pennsylvania, western and central New York, possibly up here in New Hampshire, Vermont area, and mainly up here in Michigan. So we could be coming in on a wintry mess on Thanksgiving, but don't let this deter you from heading out to see friends and family, though. But as you're heading home on Thanksgiving night and watching those Cowboys lose as they always do on Thanksgiving, definitely going to be remaining in a wintry mess up there. Now, what about the rest of the country? We were writing this at 10 o'clock in the morning. See, the Northwest is going to be coming in on some snow over here by Idaho and Montana, and some heavy rainfall in the northwest parts of Washington, which what else is new? It always rains up there in Seattle. But basically, upper Great Lakes, northeast, and northwest looks like could be dealing with some travel delays on Thanksgiving, and even on Thanksgiving night as well. And I know I'm jumping around here, but I do want to show y'all what the wind gust will be since there is a blizzard warning already issued. We can see upwards of 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts possible. It's why they issued the blizzard warning, obviously. Some areas getting in on almost 70 mile an hour wind gusts, so definitely going to be causing some disruptions, possibly power outages as well. And this is also going to be heading off into the northeast as we head into Thanksgiving. So it could be a very blustery and snowy and just dreary Thanksgiving for most of us here in the upper Great Lakes and Northeast on Turkey Day. So that's unfortunate. But again, don't let that deter you from getting out, seeing friends and family though on Turkey Day. Now this snowfall could also stick around through Thanksgiving as well. We can see today we got some very bitterly cold air coming down through tonight actually. As we head into Thanksgiving, yeah, you can see we're not even going to get above freezing even unless you live down here in Iowa, but it really, I don't think it has enough time to actually melt. As you can see, we're going to be dealing with some blisteringly cold air here on Thanksgiving and possibly into Black Friday. But before we get into Black Friday and the temperatures for the whole entire country, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on whether or not it'd be good to go to see friends and family or not. We can see that the Northeast, Midwest, and Plains and the Northwest has the lowest odds of being good to go. Could be coming in on some travel delays within these areas here. You can see the reasons why. Basically, very cold with strong winds and snow sticking around here in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Could be coming in on heavy snowfall here in the Great Lakes and Northeast through Thanksgiving, so be mindful of that. The Northwest could be coming in on some dreary conditions as well. Could be coming in on travel delays up there, but the Southeast and Southwest is where the greatest areas of not seeing hardly any precipitation is going to be occurring, so travel is going to be good down here in the Southeast, Southwest, and even down here in the South Central part of the country. And I'm not the only one saying this either. The National Weather Service is saying it as well. Thanksgiving Day will feature gusty winds, lake effect snow down one of the Great Lakes, as well as unsettled weather across the Pacific Northwest with much cooler temperatures for much of the country, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But first, go ahead and get into the precipitation here once we move past Turkey Day. And I'll also take a look at the snow totals as well. Don't think I forgot about that. I didn't. But we can see it's here today and tomorrow coming in on a lot of heavy snowfall here in the upper Midwest, Northern Plains, and Great Lakes. Severe weather occurring as well down here in the Deep South. Be mindful of that from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time. Sure you seek shelter in your basement, closet, and room away from windows if a tornado warning goes off. And this snow is going to be occurring all the way through Thanksgiving morning, all the way up here into the Northeast and upper Great Lakes. And some snowfall and heavy rainfall is going to be occurring in the Northwest, but the rest of the country is looking to be pretty dry though, and pretty cold as well. You can see we got a big old trough coming down and dropping those temperatures down drastically on Thanksgiving. And once we move past Thanksgiving and into Black Friday, or gobbling into your wobbling, looks like it's going to be still snowing up here in the Northeast and upper Great Lakes. And even up here in the Northwest, even more snowfall here in northern Idaho and Montana, all the way down into the Dakotas. And once we move past Black Friday, we got to keep our eye on this concerning winter storm, as this could be our first major winter storm of the season. We got some heavy snowfall occurring over here in Iowa, parts of the Central Plains, and the parts of the Midwest as well. Now this is subject to change. Some model runs have been showing the snow heading further north, and some of them have been showing it heading further south. A lot of them have been showing the snow heading further north though, so that's been pretty consistent. But of course, I'll be keeping y'all updated on X and Facebook, and even on here as this does change between now and then. And of course, typical winter-like pattern where we have snowfall up north and severe weather down south. Looks like we could have severe weather and heavy flooding down here by Arkansas and Louisiana as we head into this weekend. And once we head into Monday, it's going to be getting out of our hair. And then another system could be impacting the mid-Atlantic region over here by Virginia and West Virginia. Possible icing down here in parts of northern North Carolina. Heavy snowfall up here in the Northwest with heavy rainfall in Washington. And then the further we head out, the more uncertainty there is. But it's looking like December is going to be a wild ride. Could be a December 2, remember. Could come in on system after system where it just dumps snow after snow after snow, potentially here in the Midwest. And we can see the Northwest is just going to be coming in on some very dreary conditions here as we head into the middle of the month. But of course, as you see right here, 300 something hours out, well out into the future, way too far out to accurately predict this. And this will change between now and then. Now, as far as snowfall goes, before we get into the Climate Protection Center's guidance, we can see where the jackpot of snow is going to be at all the way through December 6th, mainly up here in the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. I think this snowfall is going to be sticking around for quite some time, actually, based on what those millibars were showing us, which is some very drastically cold air. And of course, the Rockies are always coming in on snow this time of year, which is good for those ski resorts. I know some ski resorts are opening up, so get out there and enjoy those. Could come in on a fresh snowpack up there. And as far as precipitation goes, do got to worry about that as well. We can see where the jackpot of rain is going to be at, mainly down here in the deep south and really the southern part of the country. It's going to be coming in on most of the rainfall, as well as up here in the northwest, as it's looking like as we head into December, it could be coming in on atmospheric river-like conditions up there. So the Climate Prediction Center is predicting some heavy snowfall from the 2nd through the 7th up here from the upper Midwest to the Great Lakes region, all the way up into the Northeast, and the Rockies are also coming in on heavy snowfall, so it could be a wild ride as we head into the beginning parts of December. December could be coming in like a lion and potentially leaving like a lamb. I will have my December outlook up probably by Saturday, maybe Sunday. I'll let y'all know though. I still got to work on majority of the presentation slides for y'all, so stay tuned. As far as precipitation goes, we got a moderate risk now of heavy precipitation from Mississippi all the way up into Kentucky. And let's actually go back to that, by the way, and zoom in here. We can see right around 2 to 4 inches of heavy rainfall from Mississippi all the way up into Kentucky. So definitely going to be coming in on a very soggy pattern as we head into the beginning parts of December, especially down here in the southern states. And we can see the main hazard is going to be heavy precipitation within that area, which is pretty consistent. So on to what the Climate Prediction Center is expecting for the next 6 to 10 days. We can see that much of the country is heading into an above average precipitation pattern, unless you live out here in the west coast. Heading into December, could be coming in on above average precipitation for much of the country, as well as up here in Alaska and even down here by Hawaii. So now that we know we could be coming in on a wild precipitation pattern as we head into December with a potential winter storm this weekend, let's go ahead and get into those temperatures to determine whether the snow will stick around in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes as we head into and past this weekend. Now, as we can see today, we got some warm air down here in the deep south. Soak it in while it lasts, because I'm not expecting it to last, though. You can see the cold air right behind it. It's going to be knocking that warm air right on out. And it's looking like as we head into Thanksgiving, right around 7 o'clock, it's looking like that bitterly cold air is going to be coming right on down and sticking around like a redheaded stepchild eating turkey on Thanksgiving. And it's looking like that cold air is just going to be a nuisance all the way through this weekend. And I don't think the snow is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Anything that sticks today, I don't think it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And we can see we got that warm air creeping up a little bit down here in Texas before that cold air knocks it back down and knocks it out, because it's looking like that negative air is coming down as we head into the first day of December. So December is coming in like a lion. Hopefully it leaves like a lamb. We can see these negative temperatures are just going to be sticking around for a while, and at least until we head into the middle of December anyway. You can see that warm air creeping up a little bit, but then getting knocked right back down again. So basically, we're going to be dealing with a slight warm up today and tomorrow, but then as we head into Thanksgiving, this cold air is just going to be coming down and sticking around for quite some time, at least here in the central and eastern part of the country, at least until the middle parts of December, where one last final warm-up could be possible in the central part of the country before this negative air comes down and sticks around and becomes a nuisance. So it looks like winter's pretty much here, y'all, pretty much. And before we get into the temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, I do want to show y'all what's playing a role in this, which, as y'all may have heard on social media and maybe even on the radio, I did hear on the radio they were talking about something about the polar vortex coming down. And basically what that is basically cold air locked up there in the North Pole, and always has to have something disrupt it in order for us to feel it here in North America. And that's what's called the Southern Stratospheric Warming Event. We can see we got that currently in play right now. And it takes more than the QBO to play a role in our polar vortex being broken down, but it's one of the main factors. We can see that Southern Stratospheric Warming Event is going to be playing a role in the polar vortex being broken down, and we're going to be feeling that actually for quite a while. Actually, we're going to be dealing with those negative temperatures all the way through December 6th. Now, if you're one of those people that wait till the last minute to winterize your house, I would go ahead and do it now, or it's too late, because it's looking like that cold air is going to be coming down and sticking around at least up until the middle parts of December. And I think it's just going to be getting wild as we head into December, y'all. And that's not clickbait, by the way. It's just the facts of it. But back to the temperatures for a little bit here. I want to show y'all how cold it's actually going to get here in the north central part of the country. We can see the feels like temperatures are mainly going to be feeling like the single digits into the negatives as we head into Black Friday and into next week. See next week coming down into the negative 20s up here in northern North Dakota. So definitely winterize that house while you can if you haven't done so already, because Old Man Winter is coming in early. It's coming in like a redheaded stepchild on Thanksgiving. Or it's like an unwanted house guest on Thanksgiving. It's just unwanted. Unless y'all like the cold air, but I think you're crazy if you like the cold air. But onto the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we can see that much of the country is coming in on below normal temperatures, well below normal here in the Dakotas, into Minnesota and Nebraska, but really above average here in the southeast. So most of the snowbirds going to be heading down to Florida, which I don't blame them. I would too. And the next 8 to 14 days, looking like that cold air is going to be sticking around as we head past Black Friday and into the beginning weeks of December. It's going to be sticking around like a red-headed stepchild that we all don't want. Looking like that warm air could be possible down here in the southeast. Now, even though it says above average down here, don't really mean much. It could still be above average, but still be cold, but still above normal than it typically is for this time of year. Basically what that means. And as far as the risk of hazardous temperatures goes, we really don't need this to tell us it's going to be bitterly cold out there and we're going to be freezing our tuxes off, because it is. Basically from the 3rd to the 6th, we're going to be freezing our tuxes off, dealing with those negative temperatures up here in the upper Midwest and northern plains, as well as down here by Texas. So definitely be aware of this if you live in southwest Texas. So basically, to rewind this, essentially we're going to be dealing with an active weather pattern as we head past Thanksgiving, where we could be coming in on our first major winter storm of the season. Take that with a grain of salt though. Cannon will change between now and this weekend. And as we head into the beginning weeks of December, we could be coming into back-to-back systems, but of course that cannon will change between now and the middle of December. But what is spot on is the temperatures, as we're going to be coming in on some barely cold air and some negative temperatures as we head into the beginning weeks of December. So definitely be mindful of this bitterly cold air coming our way, because meteorological winter is going to be feeling more like actual winter as we head into the beginning days of December. And as far as travel plans go, basically the Northeast, Upper Great Lakes, Upper Midwest, Northwest, I think those are the areas that are going to be seeing the most trouble as far as travel goes. So now that we know we're going to be dealing with the polar vortex as we head into the beginning weeks of December, and it's going to be a pretty dreary one here on Thanksgiving for the Upper Great Lakes and Northeast and even the Northwest. Let's go ahead and get into some top Thanksgiving facts for this year. Did you know that nearly 82 million Americans are projected to travel 50 plus miles for Thanksgiving this year? The highest on record, even with the dreary conditions occurring in the Upper Great Lakes and Northeast and even Northwest. Number 2, the average cost of a classic Thanksgiving meal for 10 people this year is $55.18. Down 5% from 2024 thanks to lower turkey prices. Number 3, about 46 million turkeys are consumed on Thanksgiving Day alone. And the typical Thanksgiving feast packs around 3,000 calories per person, enough to fuel a full day. And of course, there's more facts about Thanksgiving, which I'll share on X and Facebook, probably the day before Thanksgiving, since I have to travel to see friends and family. So stay tuned for that. So hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Also leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as any feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, as here at Wayne's Weather we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. So I hope y'all have a great turkey day. Hopefully y'all get into those turkey comas and gobble until you wobble, because it's looking like you're gonna need those fat reserves after Thanksgiving, because it's going to be getting bitterly cold here. We head into the beginning weeks of December, so just get used to the cold air now, because it's looking like it's going to be coming down and sticking around like an unwanted red-headed stepchild. So again, stay warm, stay safe, gobble until you wobble, and get that good old turkey coming. And until next time, never stop forecasting. And happy Thanksgiving, by the way.